10 years ago, I stood on a muddy hill overlooking a forgotten slice of Colorado, clutching a blueprint and dreaming big. The land was a mess of overgrown weeds, a rotting boat shack, a pier half sunk into the lake, but I saw something else. A private haven, elegant and exclusive, where people could escape the grind. I'm Ethan Caldwell, an architect who poured my soul, say VYNGS, and sanity into building Serenity Cove, a boutique resort with 8 rooms, 5-star VYUs, and a VYEW that could steal your breath. I designed every detail, from the cedar decks to the stained glass window glowing above the lobby fireplace. For 2 winters, I slept on a cot in a drafty construction office, haggling with zoning boards by day and hauling lumber by night. It was worth it. Serenity Cove became my legacy, a place where I'd walk the grounds at dawn, coffee in hand, watching the sunrise turn the lake to gold. My manager, Sarah, kept the place humming like a well-oiled machine. No drama, no fuss until the vultures circled. Across the trees sat Willow Crest, a gated community with manicured lawns, and an HOA so smug you could choke on their self-righteousness. For years, we coexisted fine. Their kids bought ice cream at our cafe. Our guests rented kayaks near their docks. Polite waves, no trouble. Then Victoria Langley swept in as their new HOA president, and the air changed overnight. Friendly emails stopped. Snarky ones piled up complaints about traffic patterns, noise levels, even a guy whining that our pergola's reflection ruined his meditation. I brushed it off as seasonal griping until Sarah called, voice tight. Ethan, you better get down here. The HOA's saying we're VYOLATing their tranquility mandate. I arrived expecting a petty letter, not a black SUV parked in my guest drop-off zone, hazard lights flashing. A woman in a sharp blazer was snapping photos of everything: hedges, valet stand, even the hummingbird feeder. Can I help you? I asked, striding up. She spun around, mid-50s, hair ironed to perfection, a laminated badge, screaming, saw Victoria Langley. HOA President saw. Ethan Caldwell, she said, like she'd rehearsed it. I was hoping for the manager, but the owner's better. Her handshake felt like a power move. You're on private commercial property, I said, not blinking. Her smile was pure venom. Exactly. That's the problem. She launched into a speech about community harmony and how my resort's commercial VYB clashed with her neighborhood's peace. I stood there, dumbfounded, as she claimed my guests walking the lakeside trail disrupted her residents' VYUs. This land's been zoned commercial for 20 years, I said. I've got permits, licenses, the deed in my truck. Her eyes glinted. It's not about paperwork. It's about SAW community SAW. Then she handed me a rolled-up map, a so-called compliance plan with my property outlined in red, labeled SAW pending annexation SAW. I laughed. This is a hotel, not your neighbor's shed. She didn't flinch, just planted a metal sign by my entrance. SAW private, HOA zone, no commercial use SAW. That's trash, I said. Then you'll hear from our lawyers, she shot back, peeling out in her SUV. The nonsense spread like wildfire. Willow Crest residents started GIVYing my guests the stink eye. Letters arrived on HOA letterhead, whining about VY Sewell noise and transient presence, signed by Victoria with a medieval-looking seal. Flyers hit every mailbox, screaming, SAW is our community a resort town? SAW guests started asking if we were shutting down. HOA volunteers in neon vests loitered by our entrance, snapping photos of license plates and citing delivery drivers. A couple canceled their booking, citing neighborhood issues. Sarah overheard a resident warn a guest we might close soon. Victoria even called an county inspection, wasting our day but finding nothing wrong. Then came the fake street sign, SAW Residential Tranquility Zone, SAW bolted outside my driveway to confuse guests. I filed complaints, documented everything, but the hits kept coming. One foggy morning, Sarah's call woke me. Ethan, get here SAW now SAW. I sped over, heart pounding, and found our carved wooden sign, SAW Serenity Cove Boutique Resort SAW gone. In its place, a cheap plastic board, SAW HOA Community Center SAW. My blood boiled. Sarah, red-faced, pointed to security footage. At 2:17 a.m., four figures, including Victoria in heels, had stormed in, swapped signs, and left HOA flyers on our front desk. They'd even tried accessing our reservation system with cloned key cards. They walked in like they owned it. Our receptionist, Mia, said near tears. I called the cops. Two officers watched the footage, the older one muttering, trespassing and vandalism, at least. But I saw the caution in their eyes. Victoria's HOA had deep pockets and deeper connections. We changed locks, added biometric controls, and plastered private property signs everywhere. But the damage was done. Guests checked out early. Google reviews mentioned ownership disputes. Victoria's next move was a cease and desist letter, accusing me of disrupting residential sanctity. Then the county hit us with a suspension notice, freezing operations pending a zoning review she'd orchestrated. Guest keys stopped working. A spa director cried as she sent new hires home. That night, HOA vans rolled in, stringing balloons for a community retreat pre-VYEW on my property. I marched over, snapping, "You're trespassing." A smug volunteer shrugged. Per our community assessment, I cut him off. There's no annexation. This is my land. I'd had enough. I called my lawyer, Rachel, and said, "We're suing." No delays. We filed for a boundary hearing, uncovering Victoria's updated shoddy Photoshop job sign by her cousin, a retired mall cop, not a surveyor. A real surveyor, Tom Harper, confirmed my boundaries were rock solid. We went public, blasting a press release. Saw local resort fights, HOA land grabs saw. The story exploded, trending locally as Victoria's LinkedIn vanished. But she'd already forced a shutdown. My lobby sat empty, the lake silent. In court, Rachel laid out our case deeds, permits, Tom's survey, and damning footage of Victoria's midnight raid. The bombshell came when a former HOA advisor, Daniel Reed, took the stand. Victoria ordered me to submit a fake map, he said. She called it a paper siege. Her own email bragged. "So if we can't own it, we can freeze it, saw." The judge, a no-nonsense guy named Hargrove, leaned forward, eyes sharp. The room felt electric. He issued a temporary injunction, barring HOA claims, and set a final hearing. That week was chaos. Victoria's team pushed a boundary correction to swallow my land, but we were ready. At the final hearing, Hargrove didn't mince words. He verified Daniel's testimony, traced Victoria's emails, and called her map an egregious fraud. Serenity Cove was declared forever outside Willow Crest's reach. All HOA claims were voided, and the county was ordered to clear my record. Then came the hammer. Dula $1.1 million in damages for lost revenue, legal fees, and reputational harm. Victoria's lawyers squawked, but Hargrove shut them down. He referred her for criminal fraud and trespassing charges. As she stood, two officers approached. Ms. Langley, one said, "Come with us." Handcuffs clicked. The crowd outside, guests, locals, even some Willow Crest residents erupted. We reopened on a crisp Friday, the lake shimmering, fresh flowers in the lobby. Our sign was back, now, with a tagline. Saw real ownership, real peace saw. Sarah baked muffins. I wore a jacket just to feel the weight of VY Tory. Messages flooded in from small business owners. So you gave us hope. Saw Willow Crest's board crumbled 2 resignations, a full audit, and a third-party manager. Victoria faced charges, her assets frozen. The HOA vowed to leave us alone, a fancy way of saying they'd lost. Walking the grounds that night, bourbon in hand, I watched a couple dip their toes in the lake. The spa hummed softly. This wasn't just a win, it was a line in the sand. They tried to steal my dream, my name, my home. But Serenity Cove is mine. Always was, always will be. Now, what do you think? Was Victoria just a power-hungry bully? But did she believe her own lies? Should HOAs have any say over private businesses nearby? And how far would Saw go to protect what's yours? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're Team Serenity, and subscribe for more stories of fighting the good fight.